Are you on a low carb diet like I am and you're craving mozzarella sticks? I've got you covered. We're making my low carb, keto friendly mozzarella sticks. So if you remember my keto KFC chicken recipe, I use protein powder on the outside. Now I'm not doing that today, I'm using almond flour. I find you get a better flavor out of the final product. With almond flour, you get sort of like this nuttiness, and it just goes so well with the mozzarella cheese when it's all gooey and nice at the end. And of course, I'm doing it in the air fryer. Now, it took me a while to get this right, because when you deep fry mozzarella sticks, you are deep frying at a really high temperature for a short period of time. In the air fryer, you only have a certain temperature to go up to, and you have to prolong that amount of time. So the risk is that all the cheese just starts to ooze and melt out, and you lose what we're after in that beautiful mozzarella stick when you break it open. So the key is the timing and the temperature has to be spot on. And there's a few other things you'll have to get right too, but we'll get into that later on. What you want to do first is get your breading mixture done. So into a bowl, I'm going to be adding in some almond flour. I'm also adding in some garlic salt as well. Now the garlic salt helps me twice. Once because I don't have to season it again because the mozzarella cheese is quite salty anyway. And twice I definitely want that garlic flavor. And then I'm adding in some Italian seasoning, some dried Italian seasoning. Now give all that a good mix around, and then finally what I'm going to grate in is some freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. It is absolutely beautiful, goes so well, and again this is really salty too, so you don't need to add any salt or extra salt to this. So just grate some over. You don't need a lot because it does go a long way, and just again mix that all through that coating, and that's our crumb coating for the mozzarella sticks. Now the mozzarella sticks, I've got a block of mozzarella. It's not traditional mozzarella, but I just cut it up into sticks or battens, and they're reasonably thick. If you leave them too thin, what they do is when you put them in the air fryer, they will melt. So leave them fairly chunky. And look, who doesn't love a chunky mozzarella stick? Seriously, why do you want a thin mozzarella stick? So for the breading station, so simple. Crack a couple of eggs into a bowl, give them a whisk, and then we're going to dip our mozzarella sticks into the egg, and then we're going to dip them into our seasoning. Now you could stop there and just do one coat, and that's fine, but what I do is put another coating on. It's like putting some sunscreen on to protect yourself from the sun. The extra coating is going to protect itself from the prolonged heat in the air fryer and stop that cheese from melting. So double dip, double coat, and keep that process going until all the cheese sticks are gone. And I just place them on a baking tray lined with some foil, and then I place them into the freezer and I let them freeze completely. A lot of people will say just put it in there for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. I put them in there like overnight or next day, or at least 5 to 6 hours, because I want them frozen. Don't worry, when you eat them, they won't be frozen. But the more frozen they are, the more they're gonna hold up to that prolonged temperature in the air fryer. Once they're frozen, bring them out and then place them into the air fryer, and I don't double stack them or anything like that. I just place them in, and then I'm setting this at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit. And the other secret is don't overcrowd the pan. Do them in batches if you have to, and you only want them to cook for 5 to 6 minutes at a time. Just bring it out 3 minutes, look at them. You don't have to turn them or anything like that. Just leave them in there, don't touch them. Now, you're not going to get that real golden, crispy look that you would if you deep fry them, but the coating will be crispy, but it hasn't just got that real deep golden brown color to it if we were deep frying them. So when we bring them out, you'll see that there are some parts that are nice and golden, but it hasn't got that real deep richness to it, that color that we're used to. So bring them out, let them cool for about a minute in the air fryer basket before removing them, and that'll help them keep their shape. And just plate them up, and you can serve this with a marinara sauce. It is absolutely beautiful. And you break them open and you see that gooey cheese in the middle. It has a beautiful flavor through it. That garlic and that Parmigiano Reggiano is just absolutely so good. And the air fryer just, I don't know, it just gives it that sort of clean feel in your mouth too. It hasn't got that sort of deep fried oiliness to it. So low carb, keto friendly, in the air fryer. How easy can it get? So good. You can put these down on the table and everyone's gonna get stuck into them really quick, let me tell you. If you're after the recipe, please check out my website. The link is in the description below. If you love this recipe, please give it a like, share it around with your family and friends, and I'll see you real soon for another recipe.